Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Beyond Second Cognition. I'm Beall. In this podcast, I'm going to promote the last two books that I just released. I'm going to give a little bit of explanation. If you're looking around at the world, you're seeing that people are going kind of apeshit over the vax, no vax, mask, no mask idiocy that's going on. You see people digging in their heels. They're getting short-tempered. If you're on any kind of social networks, you'll notice that people are losing their shit. Part of this has to do with the alteration of the energies from the first cog to the second cog field. The other part of it has to do with the fact that everybody feels that their reality is threatened, and based on the first cog narrative reality, this happens to be true. They look around for leadership, and there is none, and because humans were created as a slave race, and because they think in herd mentality, they don't know what to do. They're leaderless. They don't know how to guide themselves without some demagogue or hero or messiah figure to tell them what the hell to do. And so they're panicking. They put on a good fight and they bluster and beat their breast about bravado and all these other kind of things, but the fact of the matter is they don't know where to turn. First book that I just released was To Form a More Perfect Union, Government by Responsible Individuals, in which I advocate the fact that people are going to have to look at some form of self-rule. This book reveals irrefutably how the U.S. Constitution has been a scam that has duped every American into believing that the document is something that it's not. It has my own commentary in the front of the book and 3 essays written by the 19th century American philosopher Lysander Spooner called No Treason, the Constitution of No Authority. Americans may be more interested in this than people in other countries, but the whole thing's been a cognitive scam. It's just another cognitive illusion in this world of narratives that I reported about in my book From Dark to Light. The second book has to do with why people are being resistant to what they are, and I had a co-author, Arch Bramble, work with me on this book, and it's entitled Normality Bias. Normality bias occurs with about 70% of the population. You can tell them that a tornado or hurricane, a tsunami, or things are going to happen, and they'll bury their heads in the sand and ignore it. And even when the disaster strikes, they'll live in denial in some form or another. Normalcy bias is what keeps humanity rooted in its ideological narrative system. Their world is being destroyed and they don't know how to handle it. And normalcy bias is what tries to keep the whole collapsing structure in place. So if you want some insight into this, Normalcy Bias is a book that's going to give you a lot of information in that regard. The situation in the world with people losing their minds is going to escalate. People are going to get crazier. They're going to get more hostile. You're going to see probably more violence, and you're going to see a lot of people literally go nuts as their whole perceptual world crumbles around their ears. It's better to see it coming than with the ostrich with its head in the sand syndrome, because those that live that way are going to be the ones that suffer most as these things fall apart. So the books are out there, they're reasonably priced, and if you want to know why on these things, these books explain the why on these two different subject matters. For those of you doing the work, stay the course, don't give up on yourselves.